Silence first. Before the blade is drawn. Before the wound is named. Before you tell yourself that you are healing. There is a moment, quiet, uncomfortable, where the truth waits. Most people never enter that moment. They rush past it. They label. They distract. They perform recovery like a ritual they barely understand. They chase relief, not transformation. And they wonder why, months or years later, the pain still rises uninvited in the night. Here is the question you have been avoiding. What if the very way you are trying to heal your trauma is the reason it still controls you? This is not a comforting thought. It is a precise one. The samurai understood something modern minds have forgotten. A wound that is treated incorrectly does not disappear. It adapts. It hardens. It waits. And so does trauma. In the modern world, you are told that healing is soft, quick, expressive, and linear. You are encouraged to talk endlessly, to relive repeatedly, to label yourself as broken and then wait for time or comfort to save you. But the ancient warriors of Japan lived surrounded by loss, war, death, betrayal, hunger, exile. They did not have the luxury of denial. They also did not indulge in chaos. They survived because they understood the inner battlefield. The battlefield was never only outside. It was always within. A samurai could lose his sword and still fight. But if he lost command of his mind, the battle was already over. Your trauma is not your enemy. Your misunderstanding of it is. And that misunderstanding begins with the things you are doing wrong, quietly, repeatedly, with good intentions, while believing you are healing. Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's greatest swordsman, lived much of his life alone. Orphaned young. Constantly tested. Perpetually facing death. He fought over 60 duels and never lost, yet he spoke little of victory. Instead, he wrote about clarity. Musashi did not romanticize pain. He also did not flee from it. He observed it. He learned from it. And most importantly, he did not confuse awareness with indulgence. This is the first mistake most people make when trying to heal trauma. You think that revisiting the wound endlessly is the same as understanding it. It is not. A samurai did not stare at a bleeding hand and call that discipline. He stopped the bleeding. He cleaned the wound. He learned how it happened. And then he returned to training, changed, but not consumed. Trauma is similar. When you repeatedly relive the story without structure, without purpose, without containment, you are not healing. You are sharpening the memory. You are training your nervous system to react faster, stronger, deeper. You believe you are processing. In reality, you are rehearsing. The samurai knew the danger of untrained repetition. Practice makes permanent, not perfect. If you practice pain without mastery, pain becomes your master. Another mistake, you are trying to feel your way out of trauma instead of training your way through it. Modern culture worships emotion. The samurai respected emotion, but they did not obey it. A warrior who followed every feeling would die quickly. Fear was acknowledged, then placed in its proper position. Anger was recognized, then refined. Grief was honored, then integrated. The Zen monks who trained warriors taught this principle relentlessly. The mind must be seated before it can observe. Most people attempt to heal trauma while mentally standing in chaos. You chase emotional release without discipline. You believe crying is healing. You believe expression is resolution. You believe insight alone is enough. But insight without structure is fragile. The samurai trained posture before philosophy. Breath before meaning. Routine before reflection. Because trauma lives in the body before it lives in language. If your sleep is broken, your breath shallow, your body untrained, your days unstructured, then your attempts at healing are built on unstable ground. You are trying to meditate during a storm without anchoring the ship. This is not weakness. It is misalignment. Healing requires order before understanding. Consider the Ronin, the masterless samurai. Exiled. Disgraced. Stripped of identity. Many Ronin lived with deep psychological wounds, shame, loss of purpose, betrayal by the very systems they served. Some collapsed into bitterness. Others became legends. The difference was not what happened to them. It was what they did with the fracture. A Ronin who healed correctly did not cling to his former self. He did not demand closure from a world that had moved on. He accepted impermanence without surrendering discipline. This is another mistake you are making. You are waiting for closure before you move forward. Trauma rarely offers closure. It offers lessons. When you demand explanations, apologies, or fairness before you allow yourself to live fully again, you give your power to the past. The samurai never waited for the world to be just. They trained anyway. You say, once I understand why this happened, I can heal. The samurai said, I will understand by how I live now. Healing is not an event. It is a posture. There is also the mistake of identity attachment. You have fused your trauma with who you believe you are. You introduce yourself through it. You protect it. You fear losing it, because without it, you do not know who you would be. The samurai were taught to die before battle, not physically, but psychologically. By accepting death, they removed its control. Likewise, healing trauma requires the willingness to let go of the identity that formed around the wound. This does not dishonor what you endured. It prevents the wound from becoming your ruler. Musashi warned against clinging, to techniques, to reputations, to outcomes. Clinging creates rigidity. Rigidity breaks under pressure. When you cling to your trauma story, you become rigid. Every challenge becomes proof of damage. Every discomfort becomes re-traumatization. Every boundary becomes a threat. The samurai remained fluid. They adapted without self-betrayal. Healing demands the same. Let us speak now of the inner battlefield. Your trauma is not a single memory. It is a pattern of anticipation. A habit of vigilance. A body trained to expect danger even in safety. Most people fight trauma like an external enemy. They say, I must defeat this. The samurai knew better. They did not fight the mind. They trained it. The mind is not conquered by force. It is aligned through repetition. Here is where most modern healing fails. It focuses on insight over conditioning. You understand your trauma intellectually, but your nervous system has not been retrained. You say, I know I am safe now, while your body says, prepare for impact. The samurai did not argue with the body. They trained it until safety became instinct again. Cold mornings. Repetitive drills. Controlled breathing. Stillness under pressure. Healing requires similar humility. You cannot talk your way out of a reflex. You must train your way out. There is a quiet arrogance in believing you can heal trauma without discipline. The samurai would call this ignorance, not arrogance, but the result is the same. You avoid discomfort in the name of self-care. You avoid solitude in the name of connection. You avoid effort in the name of compassion. But true compassion includes structure. Zen monks taught warriors to sit in discomfort until discomfort lost its authority. Not to punish themselves, but to reclaim choice. When you avoid discomfort entirely, trauma remains in control. Healing is not about comfort. It is about capacity. Now listen carefully. Another mistake, you are trying to heal alone, but not in solitude. These are not the same. Solitude is chosen. It is structured. It is purposeful. Isolation is reactive. It is chaotic. It is fear-driven. The samurai trained alone constantly, but never without guidance, lineage, or principle. If you reject all support because no one understands, you are not being strong. You are being untrained. Even Musashi learned from others before surpassing them. Healing requires mirrors, but not crowds. Choose mentors, not audiences. Choose depth, not validation. You are also mistaking emotional intensity for progress. Strong feelings do not mean deep healing. Sometimes they mean resistance is loosening. Sometimes they mean it is tightening. The samurai measured progress by stability under pressure, not emotional fireworks. Ask yourself, are you more grounded than before? More consistent? Less reactive? More capable of silence? If not, then emotion alone is not enough. The blade sharpening metaphor was sacred to the samurai. A blade is not sharpened by hacking wildly at stone. It is sharpened by precise, repetitive, patient contact. Your trauma will not be healed by dramatic breakthroughs alone. It will be healed by how you wake up, how you breathe, how you train your attention, how you respond when the old memory whispers. Every day is a stroke on the stone. Most people stop too early, or strike too hard, or abandon the blade when it does not shine immediately. Mastery requires restraint. Let me speak to you now as a teacher would to a student who is capable, but distracted. Stop trying to be healed. Start training to be stable. Stop chasing relief. Start building endurance. Stop asking, why am I like this? Start asking, what must I practice now? Trauma is not healed by answers. It is healed by alignment. Here is an inner code, simple, unforgiving, effective. First, order before insight. Structure your days before analyzing your pain. Second, body before story. Train your breath, sleep, and movement before revisiting memory. Third, discipline before expression. Contain emotion so it teaches instead of overwhelms. Fourth, solitude with guidance. Walk alone, but not without direction. Fifth, identity is fluid. You are not your wound. You are what you train. Live this code quietly. Do not announce it. Do not dramatize it. Do not rush it. In time, something shifts. The memory loses its edge. The body exhales without permission. The night becomes quieter. Not because the past vanished, but because you are no longer standing unarmed before it. The samurai did not erase fear. They outgrew it. And so will you. We return now to the silence from the beginning. The edge. The realization. You were never broken. But you were misled. Healing trauma is not about fixing what is wrong with you. It is about correcting how you have been taught to fight an invisible war. Stand still. Breathe. Train. The path is narrow, quiet, and demanding. But it works. And once you walk it, you will understand why the samurai said, "Victory is decided before the battle begins." So is healing.